Oh yeah, this is fun. Okay, what's going on, guys? I told you we were going to be putting a starter in the DeLorean, and here we are. And yeah, I'm a little out of breath because my large-bodied self getting under a car that's, half a millimeter off the ground is good times. Now, yeah, there's a jack under it, but yes, there's jack stands under there. I'll get you there in a second. Check this out. Oh, let's see if my light works. Hey, it does. Look at the size of this beast. This thing is freaking huge. Well, it's been in there for 40 years. It should be a Paris Roan if it's original. So let's find out. Oh, I don't know if you can see it. But it does say Paris Roan. So, 40 years of starter. Or 40 plus years of starter. So I ended up buying a high torque mini starter. I got to find out if this is 12 volt switched or if it is constant, because the mini starter does not have this terminal. Obviously, you've got your main battery terminal here. This one just goes to here. I don't even know why I took that off. I wasn't really thinking. This one's your S terminal, which comes from your ignition switch, or in this case, the relay, which will go to here, sends power to it, kicks out your starter drive, or Bendix, whatever you want to call it, and engages flywheel, starts your car. Get this damn light off. I'll see, now it's too dark. There we go. So, this is going to be replaced by that guy. And there's a ticking noise in my garage. That's awesome. This might be a little too bright, but you can see there's definitely a size difference. But, I've only got the two, your main one and your S terminal. So I got to find out what this is. Because off the top of my head, I don't remember if this goes to the ignition or what it is. Because it could be. It could very well be an ignition, which means it doesn't have that terminal. So I'm not sure what I would do with that one yet. May not be able to use that. I guess we'll find out here in a minute. So let's see if I can crawl my fat butt. Yeah, look at this. I am just covered in stuff. It's freaking awesome. If I can get you under here without making this look like a complete idiot. Yeah. Yeah, wait, look at that. So you could almost taste the oil, right? Okay, let's see if I can get the camera up in here. Can you see? No, you can't. Of course not, because getting under this car is fun. Right there. You can't see because of this, but there's one right there. And there's another one up there. There's three, and they are on this side, the transmission side. They're not on the starter side coming in, like from the back side or nothing. They're not. They're right there, which they're not bad to get out. They're a 13 mil hex head, which, oh, yeah, buddy. Squeezing my booty out of here. Oh, you do have to take the oil filter off here, because there's not enough room with that monster, because it sits like here. It's like flush here. It's huge. And then look at the cavity you got up in there now. Isn't that awesome? So I gotta find out what that wire is, and then we'll come back and put this new one in there. All right, there. Those are still covered in filth. There is the adapter. So I crimped them down on both sides, and then decided I'm gonna put some heat shrink on these, just to kind of seal up the back sides a little bit. So it'll keep it kind of decent. So that matches the original now. I'm gonna, instead of it being permanently attached to the starter, obviously I got a ring terminal. So this goes onto the S terminal, I found out. So we'll put this on the S terminal. This will be hanging off. We'll plug it in directly, and I'll get up under there and kind of show you how all that's going. Well, let me see. Can I get up under there without having to break my back? Sure, why not? Because everybody knows these cars are known for their high off the ground clearance, right? There we go. See that? Look at all the room around that guy. It's crazy. So I actually can't wait to get all these up in there. So yeah, you got your main two, you got your big one here, another one here. I got to bring it over. It's just kind of stuffed out of the way because the headers are kind of right there. So get those out of the way. I wanted to keep all these disconnected because I can't get to, you're not going to be able to see it with my hands in the way. Can you see? Probably not. I got my hands on it, but there is, right there. There is the connector that I got to plug that bullet connector into. So I get all that plugged in, get this back together, tighten everything up, show you what that looks like. Put the oil filter back on it. There's like no miles on this oil filter, so I'm going to put it back on. Otherwise, I would just change the oil now. And then we'll get inside and reconnect the battery. Yeah, I love shadows. Okay. Let's put that bad boy up on there. don't want them kind of crushed on top of each other. So what we want to do here, there we go, that's a little better. Okay. Definitely want to keep them all away from the headers, away from any kind of exhaust. Because that's why I wrapped all of these in this heat barrier stuff a while back. Of course, some of it's starting to peel. I should probably get some more of this stuff. It was actually really good and pretty cheap at the time. I think Summit Racing even has it, which probably would be a place I'll go to get it next time. Oh yeah, this one's gonna be tough. I'm gonna need both hands for this guy. And there we go. And of course, once again, there's a shadow there. See, it's a little better. Kind of see it's all attached. Everything's out of the way. Nothing's touching. I moved the battery cables completely away from the header because that would be bad news bears. So let's get the keys and get inside this monstrosity and see what we get. As you can see, I put it back on the ground because, you know, once again, I don't have a buttload of room in here. I did have to check something. I wanted to double check what that other wire was for, and yeah, we're good. So before I start turning keys on and stuff, I do have a battery disconnect switch right next to the battery that's hidden inside the battery compartment. So I just turned that back on, close the door, we're good. Everything's all connected back up here. I probably should open that, but you know, whatever. I got faith in the car, right? I mean, it's only 40-something years old and working on mostly original parts. So let's see what we get. Oh, baby. And it starts. It's alive. Turn the stupid light off. There we go. And radio still pops up. Oh, and it's idling beautifully. For a car that hasn't run in about 9 months. Maybe more than that. And on fuel, it should probably be changed. Well, maybe not. I mean, I do always run ethanol free in this car. So that's probably a contributing factor to why the fuel's not completely, totally garbage yet. So, but look at that idle. People like to make fun of the famous DeLorean hunting idle, but I don't have that problem. Once you get the K-Jet kind of dialed in, it's not so bad. As long as you don't have any vacuum leaks or anything, you know, major. But yeah, we are running. And it sounds really good. I gotta sneak under the door here. Okay, let's get back here. Heck yeah. This stainless monstrosity can finally drive itself out of the garage again. Stop being a table and having a table sitting over it. Cool. Now I gotta get that camera completely finished, wired up. This year, door lights still work. We're gonna take care of that. Oh, let me reach in here. I'm gonna choke myself out of my own garage. That'd be pretty bad, huh? Well, you said I was gonna die in a car. Just didn't want to do it today. So, but there we go. The DeLorean is running again. Thank God, because I really need to get this thing out of here soon. Once the awesome, now nonstop rain will go away. Gotta clean up my mess. And yeah, it's good to go now. Sweetness. And the starter does sound a lot better. That's much quieter than the original one. Not that the other one was like abnormally loud. It was just goofy loud. It's got a very unique sound when you go to start it. It doesn't sound like any of the other cars I have. It just had its own unique sound. And this one's a lot lighter, so I like putting the smaller. It's higher torque. It's got more room around it. It's easier to change if anything does fail down the road. It does have a warranty. I wish I had the part number. I can't remember what... Oh, where did I get that? I believe I got it from O'Reilly Auto Parts. So it does have a lifetime warranty. Yeah, the box is gone because I gave him a core. Obviously not the original. So it was. I can tell you though, don't have them if you're gonna get one. Don't have them look it up for a DeLorean, because even if they can get the listing, I used to manage a bunch of those stores, so I think the listing is in there now. But you don't want the one for a DeLorean because you'll get this monster. Plus, it's not the cheapest thing on the planet because it wasn't used too much in the States like it was over in Europe. Much more common over there. This wire wasn't a big deal. It's just got to have... it feeds the cold start valve. I think it's the cold start valve in the thermo time switch circuit. So it only needs voltage when you're cranking anyway. So we're good there. I just wired it directly to the S terminal here on the other starter. The other one is for a Eagle Premier 3-liter. Which I know those aren't super common in the States either, but they're a lot more common than a DeLorean. So If you're looking for a starter, it was pretty inexpensive. I think I spent 120 bucks or something on it. It wasn't bad. Pretty readily available. They had it in the same day. So, yeah, the DeLorean is now running again, which is awesome. So that's one more project done. So once this rain gets out of the way, I can get the covers off of those, get those out of the way. I got some stuff to do on the caddy. And like I said before, I got all kinds of little things on this because there's an unveiling for that for later. We'll leave it at that for now. There's so much going on that I don't really have time to get into it, just to make sure it still happens. But yeah, I'm glad this thing's good to go now. Now I just got to clean it up, take care of the louvers. When I put these on, these were NOS louvers. Actually, funny enough, I think, yeah, there's still a sticker on it from the DeLorean factory. But these louvers were NOS. They were brand new, never installed. I bought them from DMC a long time ago. But look how much it's faded already from, the original black. But the sun faded the crap out of it. Now, there's a couple things you can do. You can paint them. You can put silicone on them. If you put silicone on them, don't ever expect to ever be able to paint them in the future, because you'll never get all the silicone off. You'll never be able to get the paint to stick. And this does have, you can kind of see it. There's a texture in this. So you don't want to sand them, because you'll get rid of that texture and make them perfectly smooth. Unless that's your goal, then, by all means, your car, do what you want. I'm trying to keep this thing fairly stock aesthetic looking. I mean, it looks like crap right now because it's been sitting it's been over 9 months, because I don't know if I even drove it last year, did I? Can't remember. It was sitting outside though, and it just wouldn't start, so I had to push it in here, which is always fun, pushing a 2,600 pound paperweight into your driveway. And turning it around, by the way, because it was in forward. I had to push it out and keep going until I turned it around, and I pushed it back up in here. It's not horrible. It's not the end of the world. Surprisingly, this car weighs less than the Fiero. The Fiero weighs about 100 pounds more than this does, and that's a much smaller car. So when people say that the DeLorean's a very heavy car, it's really not. It's a pretty light car. It's mostly fiberglass. I mean, the heaviest part of it's the frame, which is right around, I think 600 pounds or something when it's all assembled. That's like your biggest part. And then the engine, but that's all aluminum. The underbody is completely fiberglass, and these stainless panels are just a skin, except for the doors. The doors are stainless all the way around, and the doors are very heavy. Those might be 80 to 100 pounds a piece. I'm not sure. I can't remember. Those are a pain. Every other panel is super light. This car doesn't weigh much. Fiero, on the other hand, that weighs more than this, even though that's mostly plastic too. But the understructure of that is a completely steel safety cage. So, giant steel space frame, they called it back in the day. But it is a steel cage. So that is a much heavier car, even though it's a lot smaller than this. So, cool. This project's done. So to clean up my mess, put my garbage away, put the shop manual back with the rest of my shop manuals, and we'll move on to God knows what else I'm going to start around here. We'll find something, right? You know the deal. Like, comment, subscribe. Destroy the like button, as they say. Annihilate it. Do burnouts all over the like button. And then we're going to get these two uncovered here as soon as this rain stops. But hey, at least it's not snowing. And it's not 6 degrees outside. It is like 65 out. So we're getting closer. We're getting closer, guys. We're getting closer. So I get some more stuff done. And more parts came in today for the Fiero. So I can get some more stuff done with that and get all this out of here. But, yep, there's the DeLorean project. I don't know if I can show you the final with it on the ground. I'll take a peek here. Maybe not. Do have the headlights still on, so let's take a look. Yeah, I should probably get my thing out of there. Oh, yeah, that rag. I was testing some stuff. But, yeah, there's all kinds of room around that guy now. It is crazy how much room is around it. And it's nice. So, nice and tight. Or not as tight as it was, I mean. I can't speak because I'm an idiot. I really wouldn't mind taking these headers off and probably wrapping them. Not sure if I'm going to do that. I might change the exhaust. This car, to me, as much as I do love this car, it's very loud. Because these are they're straight MagnaFlow mufflers. So, they're not the quietest thing in the world. So I might change it. I kind of want to have a European style sounding exhaust. But then I got to put a transverse muffler that goes all the way across the back here, which is right in front of the crank. And I kind of didn't want to do that because I like having all that heat away from the front of the crank. I don't know, just a lot of heat there. I could put a heat shield back up. Like the factory had an asbestos heat shield there. I took all that off a long time ago. I still have the brackets, but I get the heat shield's long gone. It was half rotted away anyway. So maybe I'll change the exhaust. I don't know. If I can find something that sounds slightly quieter. Not as throaty as this. This has got a nice deep rumble to it, and it really doesn't fit the aesthetic of the car. So we'll do something about that at some point. I gotta get the doors off and do the roof box, just because I want to. It's not rotted out yet, but I do have a stainless a DeLorean EU roof box that I've had for, God, I picked it up at DCS probably back in 2014, something like that. I bought it because it was there, it was available, and I don't know how long they were going to be making them, so was it a FOMO thing? Yeah, maybe. But I do have it, so I would like to get that off. It's the only piece of steel on the car that pretty much they're all going to rot eventually. It doesn't matter how well the car was taken care of, because they were uncoated steel, as far as I can tell. But it's the structure that bolts to the fiberglass roof, and it has adhesive that holds it down. And then the hinges are for both doors are on that and support all the weight of those. So when those rot out, there can be major issues with your torsion bars, because they'll come popping up. And actually, you can kind of see it on this. It was like this when I got it. You can kind of see a common DeLorean issue is there's a little divot right there. There is a slight one over there, but this one's bigger. When I got it, on the back here, there's a flat panel, which is part of that roof box. And there's a plate with 2 bolt holes, and in the very center is your torsion bar. And you set your torsion on it, and then you put the plate back on and bolt it down. That's what holds the torsion bar in place. Because this back half of this roof cage was just glued down from the factory, the glue is failing, and those things twist and they come up. As you close the door, it twists it this way, so that's what happened. And that bracket tacked it right there. Right now, it's not touching it. I ran stainless. Are they stainless? I think I used stainless. Carriage bolts, and drilled holes through the roof going all the way down, took the headliner out, and bolted that thing down. There's 4 bolts going through the roof. You can't see them here. You can't see them from the inside unless you pull the headliner out. Obviously, you can see them. Then I sealed those holes up and bolted that back down, straightened it out, but I never got around to taking those 2. You can kind of see them there. Right there. And right there. You can see them. So I never flattened them out. I've got a tool to do that. Use a hammer and a dolly, but you got to be real careful because obviously it's stainless and you can't put body filler on it. So yeah, I'm gonna eventually do that, but I want to get that roof box on there because I don't know how long this one's gonna last. When I had the T-bar off, it didn't have any holes and wasn't rotted through or nothing, but it's definitely not the greatest looking. Plus, I need a front hinge. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it. Oh yeah, you can see it. Look at that. That is horrible. So the front hinge is that front hinge plate. The mounting nut is basically gone. And then obviously there's your stainless steel torsion bar that keeps the doors up, and these just help lift it. So yeah, that's actually the box. Here's some of the old red paint from when I bought this car. It was red. The box is that piece there, and it's this whole metal substructure. You can see some of the rust right there. This whole surface in there now, but I want to get to it before it turns into a major issue. Plus I've got a slight door misalignment issue, I think, on this side. So that'd be the perfect time to just take the doors off, start over, put a whole new roof box on, and be done with it. And the new one's made out of, I think it's 300 series stainless. Then it's laser etched with the cool DeLorean EU logo inside of it. So I'll get that on here some point. I know I'm going to have to do a full video series on that. I'll probably have to do a time-lapse on it because there's a lot of guys that are going to be doing this on their DeLoreans, if they haven't already. And it's one of the jobs that most owners fear because it's not like an easy job to do. It's not one of those weekend jobs. You got to be really careful and you got to know what you're doing. Some guys say you have to remove the windshield. And then I've seen, I believe, DMC Midwest, or DeLorean Midwest, sorry. They've been renamed. I know they've done a bunch of them with great success, and I don't believe they removed the windshield. So I would recommend that if you're going to have it done by a shop, DeLorean Midwest is probably where you want to take it. I'm sure Houston's done a bunch of them too. I've always, just because I'm so close to Midwest, and I've had great luck with Mike. He's done an awesome job for everything I've needed him to do, especially for parts and stuff. So give him a call. But yeah, I guess that's the end of this one. I'll see you guys soon, and enjoy. Keep it on the road.